This is Walking Between Shadows. I'm your host, Ben Elliott, and my wife,
Taryn Elliott.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. This episode begins now. Hey, everybody, this is Walking Between Shadows. We're your host. I'm Ben Elliott, and my wife,
I'm Taryn.
and we're excited to bring you the case of Marley Jones Barnhill this week out of Winona, Mississippi.
Yes, we are. I'm not going to be on camera the whole time.
That's okay. I mean, everybody knows how beautiful you are, so.
Look, I haven't felt good in a couple weeks, and I'm just getting over it. Starting to feel better. So I'm going to sit this one to the side and just kind of commentate.
All right. Well, at least you'll be here with me, and that's all that really matters. You just talk to me.
I'm looking forward to it, baby.
All right. So let's get this started. You ready?
Let's do this.
So I'm here with my wife, Taryn. Say hey, Taryn.
Hey, y'all.
You're supposed to say hey, Taryn.
Well, then I'd be saying it to myself.
Well, I said say hey, Taryn.
Hey, Taryn. Well, I don't do what you say.
No, you don't. But this week on Walking Between Shadows, we're going to be talking about Marley Barnhill and what her husband did to her. So Friday, March the 1st, 2019, 27-year-old Marley Barnhill was super excited about her night ahead. Now, Marley was 28, or she was turning 28 the next day, and her friends Brooks and Jim Harrell were throwing her a birthday party. And what they were going to do is they were going to just get together, have drinks, play karaoke, and just kind of sit out on the porch and hang out, right?
Right.
So the celebration was going to turn into a nightmare, little did you know. Marley was a super sweet, bubbly young nurse, stepmother, dog mom, and makeup lover. In fact, she had her own YouTube channel where she would get on and she would do that and Facebook Live, right?
Yeah, I think it was more Facebook Live. I'm not really sure about if she had her own YouTube or not. I don't think so.
Right, but you're pretty sure it was all Facebook Live.
Right.
And she would get on there and put makeup on and just talk to all of her friends and followers and stuff. And she was really sweet and she loved doing it. She loved her people. She was born March the 2nd, 1992 in Grenada, Mississippi. She graduated from Winona Christian School in 2010 and was a 2014 graduate of Holmes Community College. She was a nurse at Tyler Memorial Hospital in Winona, Mississippi. Marley was a beautiful soul and was always smiling. And she had a little crooked smile that was cute as hell, wasn't it?
It is the cutest thing. My niece has that. You know, our niece. I call her our niece because she loves both. She probably likes you more than me, but she has that little crooked smile, and it is just the cutest thing ever.
Right. So it was definitely something you could identify her by, was that crooked smile. But she loved her family so much and her dog Bella. She really liked makeup and working with a company called Unique.
Yes.
And so Unique actually supported her going live with their products and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she just enjoyed getting glamorous and using this product line. And it was a way for her to talk to her friends and stuff and just kind of keep up with everybody that she was connected to. So watching Marley's makeup videos gave you a glimpse into her life.
Hey girls, happy Thursday. No. Happy Thursday. I'm gonna share the video really quick. No, Kobe, go outside. Go play. When you hop on, say hello. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And let me know you stopped by. We are gonna do some glam. Hey Jen, how are ya? I'm gonna share a few places really quick.
When people popped up into her live stream, she often greeted them by name and in a sing-song kind of voice.
It was just cute. She was just adorable and goofy and just the right amount of what she needed to bring in an audience.
Right. On those videos, she would talk about her makeup life and ask others to share their thoughts and feelings. And it wasn't necessarily about the makeup. It was anything. They chatted a little bit about everything. Again, you know, she was identifiable by her little crooked smile, but she was really passionate about nursing. She was an amazing young nurse. So soon after she started her nursing job, she met her husband, Michael Barnhill. Now, Michael was born September 29th, 1988, and he grew up in Winona and worked at Scott's Petroleum. At Scott's, he was a route salesman. He just kind of had a job where he'd go around and just check on accounts and stuff like that. But in 2016, he started a new job where he was working for a logging company. He had a child from a previous relationship, and they seemed to be pretty steady.
Yeah.
Both of them had good jobs, and both of them just were kind of down the middle. With work, no criminal background. He seemed pretty, stable and trustworthy,
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And not sure how they met, but they met and it went quickly.
Got along great, and were married 2 years later in 2016. So they had met, I believe, around Christmas time on 2014, and were married by 2016.
Yeah, it says they were married in November of 16. Cool. So they had a dog named Bella. And do we know what kind of dog that was?
She was a pit bull, and like black with a little white diamond on her chest. Just
Gotcha.
adorable. And videos with her, and I noticed a lot in the videos. Marley's mother, Sandy
Uh-huh.
Jones, she was very involved in Marley's life as well.
Gotcha. But the dog was featured in her videos a lot.
Right, you could hear her playing and running around, and Marley would say, "Hey, calm down, let's
Yeah.
put the dogs up for a minute. I'm trying to do this live stream."
Yeah. Well, it was 2018. She started her Facebook page, Getting Glamorous with Marley. And this was where she did all the live stream stuff we've been talking about.
Mhm.
She would post products on this page from that company, Unique, and their goal was to sell makeup and uplift others. And Marley's videos definitely did that. That was where her bubbly personality really showed through. Marley had a lot to look forward to on Friday, March the 1st of 2019, just one day before Marley's 28th birthday. She was excited because she was off work, had been off for vacation for a few days, and it was her birthday weekend. So
Yeah.
her and her husband had some plans ahead. They were going to go Saturday to the zoo up in Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
And, being the dog lover that she was an animal person, and she was really going to enjoy that.
Oh yeah, she was talking a little bit on the video the night before they were supposed to go to the zoo, and she was talking about how she hadn't been in San Diego, I believe, was the last place she'd been to, and it was so hot that she couldn't enjoy it. And this was March in Memphis, and it was going to be a lot more enjoyable than
Sure.
that hot weather.
Oh, yeah. So, but what we're talking about is the Friday night before that. So that was going to be on Saturday, the next day. So Friday night before that, Marley and Michael were going to celebrate her birthday with some of Marley's best friends. Mari Suggs, Amber Garrard, Jim, and Brooks Harrell were all going to be in attendance at this party, and the party was being held at the Harrells' home. Marley went on Facebook Live just before leaving for the party to talk about her goals and it being her birthday month. So she was especially excited at this last Facebook Live that she had done. And it was apparent in the videos that Brooks and Marley and Mari and Amber were all very good friends.
Right.
And so shortly after the live video, Marley and Michael leave for Brooks and Jim's home. After getting to the Harrells' home, everyone started drinking. They also were just chit-chatting, having a big time. And so Marley was having so much fun that she took a picture with her friend Mari.
Mhm.
And Michael was also drinking, but unlike everybody else that was just kind of drinking at a pace and enjoying their time, Michael seemed to be pounding it.
Oh, he was throwing them back.
Yeah, he was drinking really fast and getting really, really drunk. He became belligerent and angry and combative, so he was argumentative with everybody there probably, and it was just annoying, but especially to Marley.
Of course. I mean, she had to be humiliated.
Yeah, her and her friends didn't like how he was acting, and surely Marley was embarrassed and horrified at the way that Michael was acting, treating her in front of all of her friends. Marley, being the caretaker that she was, decided to take Michael's keys to keep him from driving drunk and killing himself or somebody else that night. And I'm sure this enraged him even further.
Well, yeah, I mean, he felt like he was, I guess he got embarrassed,
Yeah.
just
yeah.
like he was doing to Marley the whole entire night.
Yep. So Michael kind of snuck away from the crowd and went out to his truck. Nobody knew that he had gone out there. And when he snuck away from the crowd, he decided to grab his .40 caliber pistol and conceal it, like stick it in a pocket or in his belt loops or belt strap or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and come back to the party. So he was now armed and dangerous
Right.
and pissed off. So he goes to the back porch where everyone was hanging out, and Marley had just stopped smoking recently, and she was trying to get in better shape or do better for herself, and she'd stopped this bad habit. And I'm sure he was proud of her when he was sober. But the way he'd been acting because he was so drunk, enraging her and embarrassing her, her nerves were shot.
Right. She needed that cigarette. I
Yep.
don't blame her one bit.
Yep. So she picked up a cigarette, started smoking it, and around 11:30, Michael sees her doing that, and he just loses it. And he goes over and he knocks it out of her mouth, and she gets up and goes over to bend over and pick that cigarette back up. But before she can, he shoots her in the chest and kills her right then, instantly.
Wow.
Yeah. So her friend, Jim Harrell, saw this happening and ran over to Marley to help her, but Michael immediately shot him as well and killed him right then and there. So Brooks tried to come to her husband's aid after she saw Michael kill her husband when he tried to help Marley, to no avail. So Brooks is shot twice and she was critically injured, but she didn't die immediately. And so Maury and Amber ran into the house and barricaded themselves with the Harrell's 10-year-old son.
In the closet, right?
In the closet in his room, yeah.
He
And
was up there sleeping.
yeah, he was asleep, but they did it with the intent of protecting him as well,
Of course.
because they knew that he was up there by himself. And when they began to run away from the scene to go into the house, Michael shoots at Amber. And she just narrowly escapes getting critically injured or killed all the same.
These girls experienced Amber and Maury. I can't even imagine the feeling they had watching their friends, all of them, 3 of them, be shot by this man that they knew, and it was Marley's husband. I can't even imagine the
Yeah, because how many times do you think they've done this before without any problems, and they're all just friends and had a good time?
I'm sure, no telling how many times. I can remember being younger and, going to people's houses and hanging out and just having a good time. I cannot imagine, something like this going down. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is such a horrifying experience.
Yeah, so when they got in the closet with their son, with the Harrell son, that's when they called 911. And so the police arrived shortly thereafter, and Marley and Jim were dead, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and Brooks was critically injured. She was probably still laying out there. They called an ambulance, but they also called Life Flight to come get Brooks. And so they put her in the ambulance awaiting Life Flight. And before the helicopter could get there, before the ambulance could make it to the helicopter's landing site, Brooks passed away.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Michael had fled the scene. He had left completely. And after the police arrived, he shows back up like he had no idea what was going on. He tried to put on this surprise and shock and awe, and the police noticed this right away.
That blows my mind because you would think he would just flee. Did he not know? I mean, was he drinking so heavily that he just completely lost it? And then, but how did he know to come back there? I mean, it's like, how much of that night did he black out on? I mean, did he just black out on the end part?
Well, really, who knows that he blacked out even?
Right.
He was just so drunk he wasn't thinking and
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah.
And maybe he had a split second of reason that said, well, if I'm not there, it looks really bad that I fled the scene. I'm not there with my wife.
Right. But good God have mercy. I mean, this
Yeah.
is that right there. I mean, to come back is just, I don't know. It's like he didn't know like he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And that
Right.
scares me about alcohol anyway. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It changes the way you think. So once Maury and Amber talked to the cops, Michael was responsible, and they had told them that. They told them everything that had happened and gone down. So it didn't take a lot of police work for them to figure out who was responsible here.
right.
And so they went to get Michael, and I mean maybe literally walked across the yard where he was standing, and he immediately knew what was going on, and again probably tried to fight him and flee. Well,
Right.
they wound up having to tase him to get him under control
Mhm.
and get him placed under arrest.
Right.
And so they took him into custody that night. And again, the investigation was nothing. It was not lengthy or difficult because there were witnesses and everything corroborated right there on the scene with the cops.
It was basically just laid all out there. I mean,
Yep, yep. And 8 months later, on November 18th of 2019, Michael pled guilty to murder and was sentenced to 3 life sentences plus 20 years.
A Winona man charged with killing his wife and 2 other people pleaded guilty to the charges today in Carroll County Circuit Court. WTVA's Wayne Herford is in Carroll County with details from the hearing and how long the man will remain behind bars.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, I'm here across the county line in Carroll County, where earlier today at the courthouse, the man accused of a triple homicide confessed to his killings in court.
30-year-old Michael Martin Barnhill entered the Carroll County courtroom stoically, without visible emotion before entering his plea.
Is it your decision you're alone to plead guilty to these charges?
Barnhill admits to killing his wife and 2 others in Carroll County on Friday, March 1st. Carroll County Sheriff Clint Walker says Barnhill was at the home of Jim and Brooks Harrell to celebrate Marley Barnhill's birthday. Investigators say he became drunk and combative and shot Marley after she took her husband's truck keys from him. They say the Harrells was shot when they tried to step in between the two. Sheriff Clint Walker said another couple ran upstairs at the home to protect a 10-year-old child. They locked themselves inside of a closet. Walker also says Barnhill left the property and came back later pretending he did not know what happened.
Your series of bad decisions cost us all so much.
After the hearing was over, we spoke with family members, at least one family member, who said she was glad it's over and glad that justice was served.
Let me first start off by saying I would like to thank Clint Walker and his staff, Doug Evans and his staff for all that they did. I think justice was served as well as it can be served today. Nothing will bring Marley back, but every day that he lives is the day that he's going to think about Marley. And
The judge also told Barnhill during the proceeding that in his 26 years of sitting on the bench, he'd never seen a case quite like this one. Reporting live from Carroll County, I'm Wayne Herford, WTVA 9 News.
So he initially pled not guilty to this, and having been convicted of capital murder, they had the option of the death penalty here.
Yeah.
So they worked out a deal where if he pled guilty, it would just be life sentences instead of death sentence.
you know, and that pisses me off too. I mean, like, I don't know. It makes me wonder how far back this abuse went. I mean, was this domestic abuse throughout the years and Marley never told anyone? Or was this just all of a sudden he snapped?
Well, and to play the devil's advocate a little bit here, if he would have been sentenced to death, the death penalty carries with it an automatic set of appeals. So that would have meant we would have had to spend tons and tons of money, and, you know, who knows through those appeals that he would not have gotten it changed over to a life sentence at that point anyway.
Right, that's true.
And so I kind of think the prosecution realized that this was the ace in the hole to just get it done without having to go through automatic appeals and all that kind of stuff. I hope that's what they were thinking, but who knows?
Right.
So the 20 years that was tacked on to the end of it was actually where he shot at Amber Garrard.
Attempted murder.
Attempted murder for Amber Garrard. So they tacked that 20 years onto that.
I mean, I would feel like they would tack on another 20 years for Maury just being there, witness it, and she was probably close by when Amber got shot at.
Yeah, yeah. And this brings us to the point where I think we need to mention Brooks and Jim Harrell, her friends.
Yeah.
They also lost their lives that night. Brooks was an RN and worked for the Greenwood LaFleur Hospital in the orthopedic clinic, and Jim was a licensed land surveyor, and he and his brother had co-owned a business together, and it was a successful business for 10 years or more. And both Brooks and Jim were active in their local church, and they're very family-oriented. They had two boys, 10 and 15. Gosh.
Horrible.
Yeah, Brooks and Jim both played guitar and taught the children's Bible preschool at that church.
I mean, could you get any better people?
No.
I mean, everything about these people, every one of them were just amazing, awesome citizens and people and parents and friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so Jim was 44 years old and Brooks was 39 at the time of their deaths. They seemed like truly amazing people and people who put their lives on the line to save Marley. Amber and Marie also showed enormous strength that night by protecting the Harrell's son and calling 911. So, yeah, they definitely deserve accolades for saving that little boy's life.
The trauma that they've had to endure over these years, past several years after that, I can't even imagine. That is
No.
horrifying. I don't know that no matter what, these people are gone.
Yeah.
These boys have no parents anymore. They've lost their friend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've lost so much that these people gave back to the community.
Yep.
It's heartbreaking.
Yep. Marley's parents didn't mention Michael's last name in her obituary. And I can't say that I blame them. Do you?
Hell no. I mean, I looked into a little bit of that, and they did. They dropped Barnhill off her name. So looking her up, as far as her obituary goes, it would be under Marley Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So a beautiful, beautiful life, all these people, and tragic death.
Well, that's the story of Marley Jones Barnhill and what happened to her, as well as Jim and Brooks.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think it means that we need to state, like, even though you get together multiple times and have a good time, that if you see anything going out of control with any kind of substance, be very cautious of that.
And I feel like that's what they were doing. I feel like that's what they were doing. Taking his keys, and just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's almost like this was completely, there was no way you could even, that's why I asked. That's kind of why I asked if there was any background with him as far as domestic abuse, because how would they know? How would they have known to prevent this? If they knew nothing about Michael, maybe they just based him off of Marley, who was an amazing person.
Right.
So,
Well, I just want to say, again, sad case out of Mississippi. And it's been interesting nonetheless. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. My wife and I surely enjoy this, and I want to give props to my wife because she puts an enormous amount of work in every week for this. And I want to encourage everybody to like and share this, as well as set your notifications for Walking Between Shadows on YouTube. Again, happy 4th of July, and thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next week. And
yeah, y'all be safe.
yeah,
Be safe out there.
have a great weekend.
Bye.
Oh, it's 6:08. Okay, I gotta go, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love y'all. See you tomorrow. And I may come live later tomorrow than 5 because I'm off. And I will see y'all then. I love y'all. I'll let y'all know what time I'm coming live. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching this episode of Walking Between Shadows. Again, I'm your host, Ben Elliott, and my wife,
Taryn Elliott.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and look for new episodes coming soon.